actually ask your customers what you could do better. So this is like, event is over, you've already gotten the 5-star review. Now let's get real. What could I have done to make it easier? What information do you wish I had given you in advance? Anything we could have done differently? I mean, you don't want to ask this till after the review because you don't want them to put it in the review. Get the review first. But you need to actually ask them these questions. Now you can do it in like a blind survey so you don't know it's them. But if you built a relationship with your client and you've sold them through a relationship, which is a lot of our industry, you should be able to just ask them, what could I have done to make this better? That's how I realized electronic contract signing was a game changer. I mean, I don't have a printer. So if I don't have a printer, how are my clients, the young ones in the room, who has a printer at home? Young. You have a printer? Do you have a scanner too?
Yes. I bought it for the
Oh, you bought it for work though, not personally. Not everybody has those tools accessible. So if I want your contract and I want your money, I want it now. I want that money right now. I want the contract signed. I'll take online payments. Like, I want it as quickly as possible. So it's real, but that was because a customer told me afterwards. They were like, you know what would have been a little bit easier? If we could have just kind of signed electronically. It was like casual, and I was like, what? So then I emailed my last 10 contract signings. Said, did you guys have it? And the one girl was like, yeah, that's why it took us 8 days. I was like, what? How do I fix this? But you have to be talking to your customers to find out what do they actually need, what do they want, and what was their experience after the review, right? After the review. So here's a lot of little, easy, simple things you can do. If you have a team of people, get your team involved in this conversation. You'd be amazed the things that come from like brainstorming and talking to each other. This is one of those things that if you're an army of one, find a friend to work through this. Because it doesn't work well when it's just you trying to map it because you'll forget things. So drag a friend into the fun with this. Ask your best clients. I mean, some of you in this room that I worked with back when I worked at a venue, I could probably tell you some of the frustrations I had or my clients had. Ask your venues that you partner with. What could I have done different? How can I make your life easier? There are some vendors in town who they automatically send license and insurance without me asking for it when I worked at a venue. You know I need it. Like, you know I need it. So send it without someone asking for it. Makes you look really good. So ask your people what are the things you can do. You have to read your reviews impartially because sometimes in that text somewhere says something you could improve on. Look for what they're not saying in the review. Because if your reviews are like, cake was delicious, my flowers were pretty, that's not cutting it anymore in today's world. It needs to be like, I had the best experience. They were so fun to work with. They made my life so easy. Pretty flowers, we danced all night is great, but that's only one piece of the whole process of someone planning a wedding. So if your reviews aren't talking more than like fluff, then you probably need to improve your customer experience. You should map out your journey. You can use surveys we talked about a lot. Watch your social media to see when people are posting and tagging you that are not vendors. Not really vendors. Like, it's not us sharing each other's work and photos. I'm talking like a customer. When are they like, this was amazing. I went to a meeting at White Rose and there's on a thing on the wall my name in fireworks. It was awesome. It was awesome. I'm like, do you do this for couples? How cool is this? But I took a picture of it, I posted on social media, I tagged them. Look for the moments that people are already talking about you as part of the process, whether if you're a venue or a caterer and it's the tasting, if it's the tour, but look for these moments and read your reviews and look on social media. When you give away free stuff, people like it. They take pictures of it and they put it on social media and they tag you. Free swag. I mean, wedding MBA is a little extra. You kind of have to bring an extra suitcase, like with all the swag that you could take home. You can never buy pens for the rest of your life after 5 days of that amazing conference. Like, there's swag everywhere, but guess what? If it's cool swag, people take pictures of it, they talk about it, they share it with other people. I have a local vendor here who sent me 4 swag at one of the booths. Can you stop by such and such? They have the best swag at Winning MBA. I was like, what? You want me to bring you home swag? So free stuff gets people really excited. Like, they get excited by it, and then they share it, and it becomes an experience. Fix the problems before they happen. Like, you have to think ahead and look at the potential problems. It's amazing on wedding day when you just call somebody and tell them you're stuck in traffic and going to be late. It's amazing. The vendor, the venue, just tell them. That's a customer experience touch point. Tell me why it's happening, what's going on, what the situation is. I mean, not maybe the couple, but the vendor team you're working with, tell somebody. Instead of being like, oh, where's the cake? I know it's company A, and I know they never not show up, but we're getting a little closer. Call somebody and tell somebody so that they know. Personalize everything you can. People love to see their name on things. A million years ago, Arthur started it, and if everybody in this town hasn't copied it, you are not the smartest. When a bride or groom shows up in front of your place of business, there should be a parking spot assigned to them with their name on it. A sign that says, welcome Mike and Susie. They've been doing it for so long that it's that quality moment. Don't think that they're not taking a selfie. Look at our sign here. That's before they've even walked in the door and eaten the food. So the experience has already started off as something amazing and memorable. So personalize whatever you can, wherever you can. You really have to start asking yourself the questions. How can I make their lives better? What can I do to figure out what they need before they ask for it? I mean, you already know the answers to most of the questions that they're going to ask. So how do I give it to them before they actually ask me for it? Before I see sweat running down their face as we're outside taking pictures, can I give them the bottle of water? Doesn't mean they're not going to sweat, but they might feel a little less sweaty about it. Might cool them off a little bit to prevent it. What do you want them to leave saying about you, your business, your company, and their experience working with you? It's important to think about this when you're thinking about your customer experience process. What do you want them to say? It was the best cake I've ever eaten in my entire life, and the tasting was the most fun I've ever had. We drank wine and ate cake. And what do you want them to say? But if you're not thinking about this in advance, they're saying the nice things about you. They're pretty flowers, we danced all night, the cake was yummy, my planner was great. It's just not enough to set yourselves apart in today's market. It's important to think outside of it. Businesses that provide an extraordinary customer experience are more profitable and sustainable than their competition because people come back. They'll come back and do business again. They'll refer a friend. They'll send, and then you don't really have to pay for that marketing, right? They refer a friend. But it's easier to get more business by giving that amazing customer experience.